Alright guys, so in this video, in this live stream, I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna react to this video titled Preview I Wish I Could Feel My Chest by X France. So yeah, this video is from Andy Ngo. So you guys can check his channel out, and maybe he's making some good content out there. Let me know if you find his content interesting. So before we even get started, I just want you to subscribe to this channel because I'm making a lot of contents. I'm reacting to a lot of content, so you might wanna um, enjoy the content, and you might wanna my god, my English is really bad right now. um, so yeah, like you might wanna just watch some of the contents and maybe have some kind of train of thoughts. So yep, and definitely like the video guys, because it helps the algorithm, and maybe you might want to share this video with your friends and family. I'm using the might one word, these two words, quite frequently. Okay, I gotta avoid that. So without further ado, let's begin. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, as you guys can see the title, you can search it up and you can just check out his channel.
What were you feeling?
um Hold on. Is the sound okay? All right.
Feeling in the years leading
So her name is Sinid Watson or Sinid Watson.
up to that decision that you could not live your life as.
So as you guys saw in the thumbnail, so she looked really cute, like yeah, so somebody has just, like there are things that happens in the society. Sometimes we get manipulated by people, sometimes we had certain kinds of feelings, and then people are like, oh yeah, you can do it, you can take actions upon it. So yeah, it happens a lot, and it's quite frequent nowadays, especially in North America and some other Western countries. So we must be careful about certain things that we are doing, and like when you take certain actions, you are responsible for your actions, and nobody is gonna take responsibility for certain things that you might be doing. So like try to make sure that you are doing the right thing in your life, and that's the key to success. And right over here, this person has taken certain action that has led to certain things, and then she realized that okay, I made the wrong choice. So then she again got back to she tried to got back to the thing she tried to get back to the thing that she was doing formerly. So yeah, that's the thing guys, like before you make even any choice, like you gotta keep that in mind, like okay, I'm responsible for my actions. People are going to support me because there are a lot of people who want you to be not as successful as them. You have to understand that. Okay, like the thumbnail that you have seen, she was really cute. Okay, I'll give her, like she was capable of doing modeling and stuff like that, because I mean she deserves on a, like if we are ranking by look, then she will get like 8 out of 10. Okay, and 8 is not a bad thing, 5 is average, 5 is beautiful, 6 is super attractive, 7 is some kind of like model level, 8 is um, supermodel type. So yeah, and 10 doesn't exist. Okay, it's like one in a couple of millions. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing I would say. But The thing is that a lot of people are here to make business. Okay, there are businesses that will try to like make you think, oh yeah, you can do it, you feel certain way, yeah, you're doing the right thing, let's do the surgery. Now I'm not against trans people. Like people will say, oh, you're transphobic, you're disgusting. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not transphobic. If somebody identifies themselves as trans people, I do not hate them for any reason. I just don't believe what they believe. But at the same time, I will say this, that I care about them, and also if they want to be my friends, they can be, certainly. And if they need help, I will help them at any cost. I mean, if I'm capable of doing that. Let's say if she is asking, or that person is asking certain things that I'm not capable of doing, or I do not understand what is that thing. At that time, I wouldn't be able to do it. But if I know somebody who has knowledge about certain things, and then that person is capable of helping her or him or that person, I'll try my best to like get that person connected with this trans person. So yeah, I do not have any kind of hatred towards trans people at like in any way. But what I'm saying here is that right now this surgery that we are talking about is that it's a big, like it's a big corporation, like they're doing this for mostly money. Okay, it's like it costs you a lot, and then they're just saying things like you might have a feeling just for a couple of days, and then you are like going to them and they're like, oh, do the surgery. Why they're telling you that? Because they are gonna make the money. So yeah, you guys have to understand that if you are somebody who is um, like transforming or transitioning to some other gender, I'm not against, like I'm not hating you, but I'm gonna say it out loud, like okay, just be clear like what you are doing, because sometimes you just have a feeling. Like I'll tell you, I'll share an honest story from my life. My uncle was brutally murdered by 4 people. Okay, and I know those people, and I was really angry. I wanted to take actions, like I'm gonna go against them, I'm gonna take revenge or something like that. I felt that way for a while, and it was around like 2017 or 18, so it was a long time ago. But what I have felt at that moment, if I had taken action, it could have been gone in the wrong direction, and I could have been jailed. Okay, so I didn't take action just because of my feelings. Okay, and I have to be aware of that. Okay, that's the thing. Like, what kind of action you were taking? Like, I was mad at it, but I didn't take any actions. Like, I had a feeling like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I didn't take action because I knew that if I take certain kind of action, it will cost my life. Maybe I'll be um, inside the jail for doing that. So I didn't do it, and it was a great decision. And I would say, like, the thing that you might be feeling right now might not be true at all. Like, it's just a feeling, and feeling is not real all the time. And that's all I gotta say for now. Like, I don't understand why some people are really doing certain things. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, you shouldn't stop transitioning or something like that. I'm not talking about that at all. What I'm saying here is that there is this medical mafia. They want to make money, and they want you to they want to convince you in any possible way to transition, because that's how they're gonna make money. And maybe I'll get banned for this, like banned for saying this. So yeah, you might not be feeling the right way. Maybe you have certain feelings for a couple of days and then it's gonna go away. So before you make any kind of choice, I would like you to think carefully and wait a couple of days. Maybe it's just a feeling for a couple of days. You see, she regrets it, um, being a trans, and I really like, I feel for her genuinely, and that's why, like, if you were taking actions, like a lot of people are saying, oh, take actions, and then some people are taking actions and it's going in a wrong direction. So that's why I say take actions, but be careful, because if you make the wrong choice, you're screwed. It's not sometimes you are not screwed up at all. So that's the thing.
As a woman you are.
I was very better.
She looked cute over here, see, and people are just, oh, just do the transition, because what, some people are going to affirm what you believe because they are just there to make the money, bro. Or if you're a woman, like,
I was very resentful. I didn't like being a woman.
oh my god,
I didn't like being perceived as a woman. I absolutely despised my body, and
look at this picture. Now her posture is like a man, okay, like her body, like the vibe that I'm getting from this picture is like certain man would be standing like that. So yeah, she looks like um, she had some masculine energy inside her, and it's not a bad thing, okay, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing at all. There are a lot of things that you can do about it. Like if you have masculine energy, you can use that energy to do certain things that could be great for your life. And I understand that some people would be like completely trashing her for that kind of posture, but I do not want to do that, because uh, some people can behave like man, that's okay. I mean, but that doesn't mean that you would take actions that a man will consider. So consider in their life. So yeah, like that's the thing. I'm really really feeling sorry for her. Like, I mean, she looked really beautiful still, but you see, she has grown.
just
I think she's shaving her
I
chin.
was under the impression that if I were to quote become a man, that the problems and self-hatred that I felt would disappear.
You see, like the depression, like alcohol and stuff that is going on in the modern society is causing a lot of drama. And you see, like if you are growing up in a Western country, you have you can legally drink alcohol, and things like that can impact your rationality and how you think, how you feel, like, and you start having self-hatred and stuff like that. So that's why I do not recommend anybody to rely on drugs. Yeah, like a lot of people would be dependent on antidepressant, but what are the things that is causing you to be depressed in the first place? So you have to figure out those, and you have to acknowledge those things. Like for example, my family doctor, I'm going through depression, okay. My family doctor told me that, okay, you gotta work out, you don't have to go to a psychiatrist, you don't have to go through therapy or anything like that. I was mentioning, but I don't have any idea about like how this thing works. But when I felt depressed, I at the beginning, I had an intense depression. um, so I went to my family doctor, and I was talking to him like, oh, should I get therapy and stuff like that. I was throwing some random words to him like, okay, is this the right thing to do? Like, he told me, go outside and do cardio on a daily basis if possible, or at least 5 days a week. And then he also told me to do oh, he also told me to go to the gym. And it was really interesting, like, okay, well, how is this gonna help me? And then I also see a lot of videos regarding it. I saw that Andrew Tate was talking about how this has become an issue in the Western society. So you guys have to just reconsider what you are doing in your life. And I'm not saying like depression isn't real or anything like that. I'm saying it's real, but it can be cured through certain actions, through like having a positive mindset will allow you to think about it more positively, and there are things that you will be doing will impact your life in a positive way. So there are things you can do about it, but I'm not gonna say like, oh, you're gonna get rid of depression completely. I haven't yet, but it's a slow process, and I think I'm going towards I'm going towards something that is going to be helpful in the future.
You did it.
I think I convinced myself for a couple of years
The
that
voice.
because I was a female taking testosterone, I got a lot more energy.
Obviously, testosterone is the thing that we have, and this allows us to do a lot of challenging stuff in our lives. And
I felt that I could do more. I was more motivated. So I did feel, if we were having this conversation in 2015, I would tell you the transition saved my life, because I believed that. But you can only...
You see, when you have certain kind of beliefs, you are motivated to do certain things, and sometimes those beliefs can be wrong. And that's why I always say that you should have situational awareness. That's what is going to help you on a long run. Okay, I'm in this situation, I'm feeling this, I'm having this belief, why I'm having this belief, and why I'm doing certain things right now, and what are the things I can do to change it and make my life positive, or impact my life in a positive way. So yeah, those are the questions that you should be asking yourself, and that's how you can do better in your life.
pretend for so long, and all the problems that I was running from with transition were still...
You see, you cannot ever do that thing in your life. Like, you cannot go, like, you see, if you're trying to running away from something, some kind of problem, it's never gonna go away. You have to face it, you have to solve the problem, and you have to make sure you are taking advice from the right people. Sometimes we take advice from certain groups of people who are just there to make money. For example, in her case, those guys who had suggested her, like, just wanted to make money, so that's why they did it. And yeah, that's the thing I'll say in this.
there. And so even with cross-sex hormones, even with the surgery, I was still very, very much struggling with self-hatred. And I'm afraid that cutting your breasts off doesn't remove that.
So, as I'm speaking with you, I
She still looks nice.
can hear that your voice has changed, or you have a deep voice. I don't know what you sounded like before. Can you outline the ways that you've been permanently, physically changed?
You see, the beard, yeah, like you cannot change your, like, you have to do plastic surgery to change your, like, eyeline and stuff like that. So yeah, still you look like, I mean, it's still she was looking like a female with beard.
So with cross-sex hormones, some of the permanent changes would be, like you mentioned, my voice. I've developed an Adam's apple, and my vocal cords have thickened. I suffered some head hair loss, lots of body hair growth. Taking the testosterone for as long as I did, which was just over 4.5 years, has led to bladder problems. And obviously the surgery is irreversible, so I'm almost completely numb on my chest area.
You had your breasts removed?
Yeah, I got a double mastectomy when I was 26.
My I don't know what to say about this. Things are going crazy in this world. People are just there to make money. Like, they will give you advice that will not make you successful, and it is happening quite frequently nowadays, because we think that, oh, she is my friend or he's my friend, he's gonna give me good advice. A lot of the time, if you ask them privately, would you consider getting paid $100,000 while your friend will, while your friends, all of your friends, maybe you have 10 or 20 friends, will be paid like $90,000? You take that offer, and instead of the offer that they will try to convince you to get, which is like you will be getting $110,000, but your friends will be getting $120,000. You will choose the first one because you will be making more than them. So yeah, a lot of people are selfish like that. Like, okay, I'm ready to make uh, $10,000 less than um, less. Okay, that's fine for me. At least I'm making more money than them, because we don't like to be judged, and we want the best for us, not for someone else. So what you might be going through is that some people you are getting advice from, they do not want you to be successful sometimes. Okay, I'm not saying like all the times. There are a couple of times when they're completely I mean, they're not selfish. Okay, they're they're really caring, and sometimes they love you real so much, so they will give you the best advice sometimes, but it's not happening quite frequently nowadays, and that's what we should be careful about, because sometimes we are just doing random stuff that are not helpful at all. And that's where I'm sometimes confused, like, okay, I'm doing so much, like I have done so much. I always try to do like 100, and like if somebody is doing giving me like $100, I'll try and give them $110 in return. And I have done it, like in terms of money. If I have ever taken a small amount of money from somebody, I'll try to return 100, like 10% more than what I have taken. That's what I have done in the past, and it's real. So what I will say is that sometimes I have seen that, okay, I'm giving like 110%, and then next time they will be like, okay, 50%, like they will return me the favor in a way that will hurt my feelings, like, oh, okay, that's okay. One time is acceptable, two times, okay, it's acceptable, thrice it's acceptable, and then it happens quite frequently. Then I started feeling sad, like, okay, I've taken this advice from him. I'm like, it's friendship, to be honest, it's transactionship, in other words. And when you have a good transactionship, that's what we call friendship. Okay, otherwise it's not a friendship. It becomes something completely opposite. Okay, like, oh, I just know him. It's not friendship. Things like that can happen quite frequently. And yeah, like it is like, that's why your transaction ship should be equal, okay, somewhere around like 50%, 50-50. um yeah, so that's the thing. But a lot of the time you will see, like, you if you were um, let's say you are taking them to a restaurant like twice or four times, you at least expect a coffee from them, but no, they'll never offer you anything. Even if they have the money, they will drink alcohol, they will drink a lot of the stuff with someone else. You'll be seeing Instagram stories or something like that. It happened to me, like I have done so much for them, but I have got, oh, some people will say you shouldn't be doing something with expectation. If you do not have expectation, what are you? Are you even a human being? Oh, you're trying to be an angel? Get the hell out of here, man. I always recommend people to reconsider their friendship. Like, okay, if your transactionship, in other words, if your transactionship is not 50-50 or somewhere around 50-50, you should just close that relationship. That's not a good transactionship, that's not a friendship. If you have a good transactionship or friendship, sorry, good transaction, that will be considered a friendship to some extent. So yeah, be aware of that, and no, like, try to constantly like test them, okay, and then make them your friend. Like, sometimes we do not test somebody, like, okay, what he's capable of doing, what he's gonna do for me, and yeah, we do not test them to the upper limit. So that's why sometimes you will see that people are doing things that are going to harm you on a long run. You see, she just didn't get the surgery in the first place. Somebody had convinced her to some extent, maybe her friend or someone she knows. Uh, there could be multiple reasons. I'm not gonna make up something right now, but I will say this: a lot of the time, your friends and family members are not aware of certain things, and they will suggest you to do some things that can cost your life. So at the end of the day, you will be responsible for your life, and nobody is going to take responsibility for you. And that's all I gotta say about this situation. I have so yeah, that's the thing. I genuinely feel sorry for her. You see, I have said that medical mafia, like, this is crazy. Okay, there is this movie I have watched probably around like 2018 or 2017. It was an incredible, I mean, it was fantastic. Like, it talked about the movie was about pharmaceutical companies and how they're manipulating people and stuff like that. It was crazy, like, oh my god, is it possible? And when I dig deep, like, when I was trying to like find out the information regarding it, and I found out a lot of things, like, okay, they're manipulating people for no reason. They want the quick bucks from you. They want to be like at the cost of your life, and they will never say sorry, like, oh, it's your choice, you made the choice, and now you face what you are going through. Like, you will be the one who will go through that problems. They are not gonna do anything at all. Like, that's all. Like, I'm not saying like all pharmaceutical companies are good or bad, but there are some which are completely just destroying your life. And my hot take is that if you are taking antidepressant, it's not gonna help you on a long run. You'll be taking it for life, but it will make you feel good for a couple of days, and then if you are not taking it, you are feeling sad once again. So when you like, is there anybody who got cured by antidepressant? Please tell me. I haven't known anybody who, like, I'm not hating them for taking antidepressant at all, but What I'm saying here is that they're taking it for so many years and it's still not going away. Like, I don't know somebody who is cured by antidepressant, like medicine or stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of the time, like, we have to be aware of certain things that we are doing, and that's why we need situational awareness. Still, I mean, I'm feeling sorry for her. Things are going crazy nowadays. Like, people are, you see, people are not so loving. They do not care about your life most of the time. Okay, we are so selfish that we do not even want to talk about certain things nowadays. Like, oh, it's gonna hurt someone's feeling. Like, even if it is hurtful to somebody, we should talk about it, because this can be life changing for some people. You see, like, I'm not hating you if you're taking antidepressant or anything like that, if you're transitioning to another gender or anything like that, but be aware of it. Like, be a learned person, like a knowledgeable guy or girl, because a lot of the time we are not reading enough stuff. Like, try to read some books, try to know certain things, like why, like, okay, why I'm feeling this way, or what are the things that I can do, and why there like why and there are some kinds of surgery, why there are some kind of expensive surgery exist, and why it's not cheap. Or, like, if you are questioning this system, you will know, like, you will learn certain things. I'm not questioning the surgery or stuff like that, but why it's so expensive, why people are doing this and that, you just have to know that. Okay, you just have to, I mean, I want you to know certain things, I want you to have knowledge of about certain things, like, okay, these are the things I can be doing right now. Now, what I'm seeing here in the modern world is that a lot of people, even though they have the technology, they have everything, they have the internet, they have all the information on their hand, still they're not looking it up. Just Google it, man. There are a lot of things that you can learn from the Google, and Google is one of the best search engine out there, which will give you so many information that you need. So I don't understand a lot of things nowadays, but I'm trying to learn. Okay, I'm open to everything. Like, okay, what is this thing, what is that thing. For example, I talked about alcohol, how it's damaging our society, how it's gonna destroy Western society. You see, one of the most dangerous drug out there is alcohol. People do not understand. Oh, I'm just enjoying myself, I'm just having fun. So what you're telling me is that you are chasing pleasure instead of happiness, real happiness. Okay, real happiness doesn't come from drinking alcohol. You see, if you I've seen a lot of people who are living their life without alcohol, and they're enjoying their life, they're happy about their life, because they do not judge themselves. They're doing a lot of things. For example, my mom and dad, and they're incredible, they're doing a lot of things in the right direction. Yeah, I have seen, like, in the last 16 years, I remember that they had just they argued with each other for one time, and they know how to control their life. They do not need to depend on alcohol to have fun. They do not need to depend on alcohol to enjoy their life. They do not need this kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, what you are doing is that you are just trying to, like, decrease your brain function for a couple of hours, couple of minutes, and then you are just, like, when you have certain kind, like, if your brain is not functioning properly, what kind of enjoyment is that? Like, tell me. Does that even make sense? So that's why I've been like, it's a $1 billion industry. That's why people are not talking against, like, people are not doing enough research against alcohol, like why it's bad for our society. But there are enough studies out there which you can look up to, and then you can figure out what is happening behind this, behind the door. So yeah, they're just there to make money. So they do not care about your life. They will tell, oh, it's all about fun, you gotta enjoy your life, you gotta get rid of stress. You are not gonna get rid of stress. Even if you're taking alcohol, you will get rid of stress for a couple of hours, couple of days maybe, if you're drinking regularly. But at the end of the day, when you stop drinking, you will have those stress in your lives, and it's not gonna go away. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with the real problem. If we are not dealing with the real problem, there is no way we are gonna help each other on a long run, and it's gonna be a distraction for the Western society. And I do not know, like, why people are doing this, still knowing that it's impacting a lot of people's life. I mean, let's say people have allowed drinking and stuff like that. Why we do not have a like capital punishment for drunk drive case or something like that? Like, I will, if I were the Prime Minister of Canada, I will be putting, like, if you are caught in drunk drive, is that the right word? I don't even know. I'm not a native English speaker, but anyway, if you are caught in that situation, you'll be charged $100,000. If you have this harsh punishment, people would be careful about it. A lot of people are losing their lives, their family is getting destroyed because you lose them. Well, let's say some there let's say there is a family, okay, family where the man is married got married to a woman, and then they have like 2 children, and the woman is working at home, like cooking, taking care of children, and the man is going out, okay, to work and to provide for his family. One day he gets into a car crash, okay, somebody kills him. I will say that word. I will use that word. Somebody gets drunk and then drive his car and run over this dude. So what is gonna happen? I'll, like, my capital punishment would be like, what you have, your car, everything. I'll sell everything and then I'll pay the other guy. That's how things should happen. Like, why we are being easy on them? Why we're so cooperative with certain groups of people? I will say, like, if I were the government, I will take everything that person has, the car owner has, and I'll give it to the family who are going through that disaster. And government is doing nothing at all. Like, I think, like, whatever the punishment you have, it's nothing at all. It's nothing, literally. Yeah, a lot of people will be disagreeing with me, but if you're going to drink alcohol, you should know that this can impact someone else's life negatively, and there should be punishment for it if you are impacting someone's life. But no, we gotta be soft about it. If there is a rape, instant death penalty. If there is absolute evidence. If you do not have, like, you have circumstantial evidence, you do not have absolute evidence, but you are just depending on certain stories and where that person was at the time, we can deal with that in a different way. But if somebody is raping someone and you have absolute evidence for that, you better just give them a death penalty. But no, the government is so easy on them that people nowadays can get away from doing some kind of heinous crime. This is ridiculous. And also, if somebody is falsely accusing a guy of being rapist, at the time she should have the death penalty as well, because you were literally going for someone's life, going after someone's life. Then you should have the same kind of punishment if you are falsely accusing him or her. Okay, so yeah, like, but yeah, it depends on the circumstances. Let's say you accuse somebody of doing a rape, and then the other person proves him or herself 100% innocent, like the person is giving you absolute evidence that, hey, I wasn't there, I was in Dubai, but the case was but the thing that she's claiming or he is claiming has taken place in Canada. At the time, you can have certain evidence. You can have proper evidence of that situation, and then if you can prove yourself innocent, that the other person who accused you falsely should should be given the same penalty or punishment that the person, if he was accused of, was doing the thing and then he had a death penalty or something like that. Yeah, that person, okay, the accuser should be given the same kind of penalty. But no, they're being easy on them. That's why a lot of things are happening in the Western world is kind of disgusting. And also, I wanted to say things about um, anyway, that's a lot of things I have talked about. I really hate it. Like, I really hate people who are falsely accusing of someone, and also I admire somebody who is able to, like, go through the court system to prove someone's crime and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm talking about like absolute evidence. Okay, like if somebody is a rapist and has absolute evidence that he's a rapist, you have got all the evidence, video recording and everything, audio recording if possible. If you have everything, that person deserves a death penalty. If the other person is falsely accusing that individual of being a rapist, then that individual should be given the same kind of punishment for falsely accusing somebody and going after their lives. Okay, so that's my stand on something. You gotta be harsh on certain things, otherwise people will take advantage of the system, and that's what is happening in Canada right now. So yeah, that's my take on it. I wanted to talk about marriage. I mean, I talked about marriage in the past, but I'll shortly say that the marriage divorce system is kind of rigged right now, because when you have a 50% division, so let's say one person X and person Y, okay, no, person A and person B gets married, and then they do not have any kind of prenup, but person A made like $1 billion. So if if that couple gets divorced, then the other person B will get 500 million in divorce. And then let's say that person A, who was rich in the first place, gets married to another person, which is person C, and then they get divorced. Then the person C will get $250 million. So it's not fair, it's not equality. I do not believe that is the way we should move forward. We should have a proper things in place to like make sure that this thing is equal amongst women. Okay, let's say a woman gets married to a guy who has $1 billion. It can be the other way as well, but uh, for clarification, if okay, so if a woman gets married to a guy who has $1 billion and gets divorced, she takes $500 million, and the guy gets married to another woman and gets divorced, that second woman gets $250 million. Then how it's an equality? I do not understand that. Our court system should have a look into it, like, okay, what is going on over here and how we can solve the problem. To be honest with you, I think the problem can be solved like this. Okay, a person who has more money should be in control of how that other person gets, how much money that other person gets. So let's say, well, so yeah, it will be dependent on the person, the guy, if the guy is rich or the girl. I mean, I'm against, like, if a woman is rich, I'm against the rule that she will have to share 50% of her wealth with a guy. No, I do not agree with that kind of thing. Like, women should never give her wealth or property to a guy, period. I do not agree with that thing. If she is successful, that's fine. If she has $1 billion, $2 billion, she should have it. She shouldn't be sharing that with a man, because men are capable of doing more. So I agree that they shouldn't be sharing in that case. But if the man is richer, then they should have a say into how much they're gonna share. Okay, I would agree that. I agree that men should pay for the date. So in the same way, men should pay something to a girl when they're getting married. Okay, and if they're getting divorced or something like that, it's like a security deposit. Okay, that, okay, in case you are leaving this girl in a difficult situation, she can take care of that situation with certain amount of money. So yeah, I would agree with that kind of system. Maybe the Canadian court system should look into this matter more. I don't think that the current system is fair at all. It's benefiting the first woman. The second woman gets the less benefit, which is like 50% lower than the first woman. In the case of getting divorced, it can be same for women as well. It can be the same the other way around. So yeah, but the thing is that it's not fair. So system, I mean, my proposal is that women do not need to share their wealth or success with a man, and men will share, but it should be their choice as well. Like, okay, what's the percentage? And also I agree that when they're getting married, they should share that percentage. It's not like right after getting divorced or anything like that, because that's a hassle, and there are a lot of people who got screwed off of going to the court and stuff like that. So that's why I would agree, like, okay, upfront, what you wanna have. If a girl wants to have certain things from a man, she can ask for it, and if the guys agree, then that's how things should proceed. Because I do not think that going to the court will sort out anything, and there are a lot of people who are just after the money, a lot of lawyers who are just after the money. They don't care about your life in certain areas. I'm not saying that's the system in Canada, but let's say it can be in the United States as well. So they should have a look into it. Like, I don't think that men or women should go into the court system right after getting divorced, because that's a lot of hassle. So that's why I think the things that need to be done after divorce, those things should be done prior. If they bring that thing before marriage, like the division, okay, how much a woman or a girl gets in a marriage, that should be taking place in the first that should be taking place in the first place. even before they get married or during marriage, during the time of getting married. So yeah, that's my take on that. Yeah, system seems to be a lot more unfair, I would say. It can be fair, it can be made fair, or maybe I'm thinking in the wrong way. I don't know. You guys can comment down below what is happening over here. So I wanna know what you guys are thinking about it. So that's all for today. I'll hope to catch you guys soon.